the first act, Rick and the president, it goes from irritating each other. Step 2 is there's a huge threat, and step 3 is they solve it together.
Yeah.
So we're done.
Yeah.
I mean, that's now it's all just down to the nitty gritty of it all.
The first beat is, why are they miserable?
Well, what do you think of this? I mean,
Perfect.
Did you read it though?
I guess I didn't do a good job of bluffing. Went a little too fast there. It's a little, but you know what? It's perfect. Here's where Rick reveals or here somewhere it's Rick's while you were doing that shit, I solved the Middle East. Burns his britches. Shit comes to a head, they get in a fight, go to commercial. But I think that's look at it like this. This is our new act structure, is that this is act 1.
Got it.
So
I see.
So then coming back, it's like you're just doing a beat here of what you had. Numerica on Moon.
And then President,
Werewolf Hunter, and then Threat. That's what you had written is like ISIS werewolves. Then the President and or Rick go to each other. They have to meet and hash it out. They do a shot, they hug it out, and then they get to work. And then the third beat is just fucking nonsense. It's just them kickboxing ISIS werewolves.
Yeah.
This is the copyrighted version of Eye of the Tiger, so you can use it. Moving upward into the night, you've got strength and energy. All of your muscles are feeling right. Just a man fighting to feel good. It's the sight of the predatory cat.
Hey everybody, it's Charlie. The Rick and Morty people are busy in the writer's room, so they're dropping new stuff to celebrate, and Comic-Con's coming up, so I'll break everything down. If you're brand new to the channel, we're still doing that Season 3 Blu-ray giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber, leave a comment on the video. I'll name a new winner at the end of this. If you've been watching the Season 3 Blu-rays, you probably heard them talk a lot about stories that changed a lot while they were still breaking it. So what they're doing right here is them breaking it. Then after they would finish this, a writer would go off, do a draft, then come back. In this version, for this particular episode, they said that it went through a whole bunch of drafts, which is one of the reasons for the Season 3 delay. One of the big criticisms that Dan Harmon and the writers had of themselves is that they overwrote, they reworked things over and over just in the name of perfection. So that's one of the reasons why it took so long for Season 3 to get here. Obviously, they posted this because they started Season 4, so it's like, hey, we're all doing this again. They've already started turning in drafts. And even though Comic-Con is a couple weeks away, the weird thing is that Adult Swim still hasn't announced their Comic-Con plans. If it's anything like last year, they didn't announce any of their official plans till it was July 10th, so as I'm posting this video, we're not quite there. So it might be a couple more days before they say what it is they're doing and what their panels are going to be. Usually there's some Robot Chicken, usually there's some Rick and Morty, even if they don't have a new season to drop. Usually there's some sort of animatic or they do a live read. If you haven't been to the Rick and Morty panels in previous seasons, they're usually pretty good. They're very entertaining because if you're not a Harmontown fan, Dan Harmon has perfected his live show ability. One of the best Rick and Morty examples of that is when they just magicked up an episode on the fly to promote Season 3. This was right before they premiered the season officially in July.
Morty, wait, I just discovered something about these two characters. They could kill us. They're so powerful that they could fucking kill us in our sleep. We shouldn't joke about them. That's the year we live in, Morty.
Oh, jeez. You mean Coca-Cola and Pepsi?
Yeah.
But they're fucking each other.
No, I know, they're totally fucking each other.
So that's them getting really drunk and just watching Dan Harmon type as they throw ideas in his head. Dan Harmon has this weird skill where he can do this, even if everybody is talking in a room at him. They said that this has happened in the writer's room before, where they're all trying to break a Rick and Morty episode, and he'll just start typing while everyone's still talking in his ear, and it'll just wind up turning into some awesome scene. Usually on most television shows, especially shows that do a lot of episodes, like Rick and Morty has 70 episodes to fill, and even if it's an hour-long drama show, usually they'll spend a couple weeks breaking an episode where they sit around talking about ideas. Like that's the thing that they're doing in this video is they're trying to break the story. Then a writer goes off for a couple more weeks, writes a draft, comes back, then the writer's room will tear that apart and completely rework it, and if they need to, the writer will go back and do another draft, or if it's been a little too long, or they feel like it's ready to move on to the next stage, one of the senior writers, or Dan Harmon, the showrunner, will do his draft. Then they'll pass it along, it'll go to animatic, they'll start talking to the animators about what they want it to look like. And the thing that they've actually changed about the production process from the early seasons of Rick and Morty is that Dan Harmon said that what they used to do is they would agonize over like little line readings and jokes and dialogue before they would send episodes to animation. So it would take extra long to get episodes out. But in animation, as long as you have most of the character moments and the scenes all worked out, you can actually change a lot of the jokes after it comes back from animation. You can re-record dialogue to fit what the animators have done. So as far back as the end of season 2, they said that they were trying to learn to use that to their advantage more. Like the script doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. We can make these jokes better when the episodes come back from animation. So that's the big thing, like just getting episodes to the animators so they can start working on them. I've talked about this in the past, but if they can get all their scripts to the animators by the end of the year, then it's a pretty solid chance that they premiere season 4 next year. Adult Swim has really liked those summer premiere dates the last couple of years, but if you remember, the first season of Rick and Morty actually premiered in December of 2013, so I don't think that they're opposed to premiering episodes later in the year, just depending on when they finish.
I might even have a big white Santa Claus beard.
There's just a couple premiere windows that television shows like to hit, like either it's spring, summer, or fall. Usually what'll happen nowadays, though, if a show is really popular, especially with younger people like Rick and Morty is, they will try to wait till spring or summer till most of the population is out of school, just because people tend to watch television less when school is in session. So whereas people used to think that summer was a dumping ground for TV that nobody wanted, now it's the place where you put all the really big shows that younger people, especially millennials, watch. And if you're a big stats geek, Rick and Morty during season 3 was the most watched show amongst millennials worldwide. Like that's how crazy popular it was. That's also why they spent so long trying to negotiate for multiple future seasons of Rick and Morty, so that they were worried, like they had this gem on their hands, they didn't want the network to mess with it, so they wanted to lock down 70 episodes so the network couldn't fire them and then hire someone else and completely change the show. What'll happen is I'll do a new video when they do announce their Comic-Con plans, or if they do say at the last minute, no, we're not going to come, we're going to be doing something else. There'll be more Comic-Con videos in the next couple of weeks. They've almost finalized what all the big panels are going to be, so I have a pretty good idea for the videos that I'm going to be doing for Comic-Con. Congratulations to the latest giveaway winner, Dean Wilson. Please private message me on the back end of my channel so I can get your contact details. Click here for more new Season 4, and click here for my Ant-Man and the Wasp post-credits scene. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.